Hey everyone, it's Michael Goosebumps fan. I hope you're doing well. I tried to get this review out last night. It didn't work. I tried my best. Just could not make out the time to get the review done. We had some little things happening in my life. But anyway, today I'm going to be doing a classic Goosebumps book review from the old 62 classic collection from back in the 90s. And this book, I don't know which number it is. It's one of the earlier ones though. It is Ghost Next Door. Yeah, really cool title, or a really cool cover. I love this. Of course, you have the famous mistake over here with the door latch being on the outside. Anyway, I like this cover. This is actually one of the very famous books I constantly talk about on my channel, of being a book from the skating rink birthday party, where I had a skating rink birthday party when I was very young, and pretty much most of my collection, if not all my collection at that time when I was young, from that birthday party were books like this, the 2003 to 2005 reissues, if you will. And I like Ghost Next Door. I've read it a few times in my life. Once you've read it once, or you've seen the TV episode once and you know the plot twist, you pretty much know the real special stuff about this book. And that's really, that plot twist I refer to happens towards the end of the book. It's a really solid read. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it for people who haven't checked it out before. If you have read it before, you probably already know what you're getting. If you've seen the TV episode, more than likely you know what you're already getting with this. It has moments that are kind of eerie. I wouldn't really say scary or creepy, but kind of eerie, you know, a little atmosphere to it every once in a while. But there's not a whole lot happening in this book. To be a typically about 117 or so page long Goosebumps book, or 24 or whatever it was, there's not a whole lot of content happening here. Not a whole lot of substance to take away from this. I can relate to the main character. Her name is Hannah. She's a girl that just kind of is in the midst of summer vacation, and all of her friends have gone to camp and stuff. Her parents couldn't send her this year. I think it was a financial issue is what I remember reading, something like that, in a Goosebumps book, of all things. Anyway, she's home alone, or not home alone. She has two brothers that are twins, and she has to take care of them sometimes. Her parents work and whatnot, I guess. And she just kind of hangs out during the summertime. She misses her friends. She has one particular best friend that she writes letters to sometimes, but she hasn't heard anything from her friends. And it's been a really weird summer. It's kind of been a mixture of one of those weird types of summer times, and you might have experienced this too when you were younger, about Hannah's age, like 12, 13, whatever, where it felt like the summer was flying by, but it also felt like the individual days that you were in were very slow. But then a week would fly by, right? She's kind of stuck in that. She's missing her friends. She kind of wants to go back to school and wants more things to happen that way. A new kid moves into the neighborhood. She didn't see them move in for whatever reason. She starts to suspect that this particular guy, I don't remember his name. I don't, because it's Goosebumps. You know, you don't always have the most three-dimensional characters for whatever reason. Their names really don't stick into the side of your wall of your head. This guy moves in. She suspects he's a ghost. And she starts to see this weird, like, shadow creature thing with red eyes. Keeps calling her name and following her around and stuff, especially out in the dark, like in the neighborhood and whatnot. And that's really all I want to tell you about the book, because there's not a whole lot to this book. It's kind of just that, her suspecting about the local neighbor kid, kind of finding out things about him as things go on. That's really it. There's not really much to tell you about this book. There's not really much to say in my review to really critique. It's not the most eventful Goosebumps book, but it has some cool moments. I enjoy it a lot. Again, the plot twist at the end of this, I think, is done a lot better than something like Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Even though Welcome to Camp Nightmare is a lot scarier than this book. It's genuinely a creepy book. I don't like the ending of that book. I've always kind of said that. I've did it in my review and everything. TV episodes are really good too. It's a two-parter. Ghost Next Door, I believe, also has a TV episode. I believe. I will try to get around to that either tonight or tomorrow, some point. I'll try to get around to it and do a review on that. But it's a good book. I like it. I don't love it. You know, I've read it, again, 3 or 4 times in my life. Since that skating rink birthday party I always talk about here on the channel. And for whatever reason, a lot of the time when I was growing up, before I started this channel and everything else, I would kind of just casually pick up a random Goosebumps book that I decided to pick up that was not a slappy type book, and I would read it. And I read this at the beach many years ago, and it was a really good beach read, just for kind of a younger Michael who just wanted something to read for summertime at the beach. If you like Goosebumps, you'll enjoy this, more than likely. If you like R.L. Stine, you'll enjoy this, more than likely. It's a very well-written book for what it is, being a younger audience book, being a Goosebumps book itself, if you like Goosebumps. Other than that, I don't really recommend it to many people outside of that. It's not the most extraordinary book. It's not really the most eventful book. It's not really scary or creepy. It's just kind of a little atmospheric. The villain with the shadow creature thing is kind of cool. The stuff with the next-door neighbor kid is kind of cool. It has a really good ending. I really like the ending of it. I think the third act of the book is fantastic. Seriously, fantastic. If I had to rate the book on a 5-star basis, The Ghost Next Door, which I'll hold up right here, it might sound like a little bit of a high rating compared to a lot of the books I've reviewed recently, like Bad Hair Day. I would give it like a 3 out of 5 stars, but it's kind of like a high 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it tremendously if you haven't seen it yourself or read it yourself. Again, at some point I'll try to get around to reviewing the TV episode and talking about that a little bit. It took me like a few days to read this. For whatever reason, I haven't really been in a big reading mode. That's why I've been kind of slowing down and doing like one book review a week for the last couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get another one out this week before the end of the week for you guys because I want to do another review. And summertime's a-coming. We're going to be covering some mummy books and stuff. So, getting really excited for that kind of thing. Anyway, Ghost Next Door, again, 3 out of 5 stars. What do you think about Ghost Next Door? Did you love this? Did you hate it? Did you like the ties that it had and the references and stuff that it had in the Goosebumps movie, the 2015 film? That was kind of cool. I really enjoyed the references there. I was shocked to see them in the film when I saw it in theaters. Very cool. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. I'd love to hear what you have to say, about this book. Was it your favorite? Is it like in your top 10 or 15 or whatever? I don't think many people would say that because there's so many good, especially classic books from Goosebumps. So I'd be surprised if somebody happened to say that. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully, like I said, I'll try to have another review out at some point by the end of this week. Anyway, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.